Sadler, Manassas Museum's intern for the summer, and today I will be doing hands-on history, which is where we take objects from our collection or things from Manassas' history, and we use them as inspiration for crafts. So today our craft is focusing around the new exhibit that just opened, Consider the Source, where we really dive into the paper that was left behind during certain points in history and what that does to help people, both as researchers and just people trying to learn more about Manassas and what was happening at those times and what were people thinking. And also in that wonderful exhibit is Albert Speiden's architectural drawings, which were used by builders to see the picture of what the building would have looked like complete. So Albert Speiden was a prominent architect. He worked in both Manassas and Washington, D.C., and he used the train to get to D.C. So maybe he was the first commuter from Manassas, which is something that I know a lot of your parents probably do as well, is use the train to commute to D.C. So it's really cool that you guys kind of have that similar thing that you guys do. So to start the craft, we are going to make our own building in Manassas. So this is my building here. And I used various household objects to make this. So before we start on the nitty-gritty of the craft, you're gonna need to get some supplies and you're gonna need to find some household objects. So what you're gonna need is a glue stick, or any kind of glue should work, one from a bottle, anything. As long as it has sticky power, it's great. You're also going to need scissors and a variety of color of paper. I used construction paper, but you can use pretty much any paper. And you want a strong piece of paper for your backing. So try and find one piece of paper that's stronger than the rest to help kind of have a holding power so you don't have a droopy building, that it nice and stay straight like this does. So I said you need to find a scavenger hunt. Why do you need to do a scavenger hunt? Well, you're gonna need a couple of objects to trace around to get your various shapes. So if you look around your house, you should be able to find various common shapes that you've probably seen in school represented in various objects. So we have a square here, we have a circle at the bottom of this flashlight, an oval, rectangle, and another small circle. So really get creative, and they don't have to be basic shapes. As long as you can trace it, you can use it. This is creativity, this is fun. Buildings don't have to stand up to gravity. They're on a piece of paper, so just get as creative as you want with this. So now that you have found all of your objects, it's time to start with tracing. So what do I mean by this? You can either, if you're not very advanced with your scissor skills yet, that's totally fine. Parents, you can just cut out a variety of different shapes. Just have enough for your kid to really be able to get creative with. Not really a set number, just enough that you can make maybe 1 or 2 buildings out of. So that's kind of what we have here, some pre-cut for me. And then for kids that are more advanced in their scissor skills, have them try and trace the objects for themselves. First, having them trace it on their piece of paper that they'll be putting their others on, so that they know how many they need to cut out, and then having them decide what color is going to mean what. What do I mean by this? Well, remember, when we have an architectural drawing, it's telling us what the building's going to look at the end. What that also means is it's going to tell us what materials are going to be used in the structure. And so in my drawing, each one of these colors means a different thing. So the blue means windows, but it doesn't have to mean windows for you guys. Use any colors that you want. This is your own creativity. This is just what I did with my creativity. You can do whatever you want. Then we have wood is orange, white is stone. I have a red door. I don't know what material that is, I just like red. And then we have a slate roof. And so you can really just think about what kind of materials you want. Maybe you want a bubble roof and you want to say that, blue equals bubbles and therefore it is a bubble roof. Go for it. This again is creativity and fun. You don't really need to have it make sense. So, trace it out on your piece of paper first, then we cut it out. So if we're following off of my end product, here is where I started. So I started after cutting out my various shapes. I'm gonna have to use different colors here just because I didn't have any more of this color. And I glued down first my 2 rectangles at the bottom where I traced them. So let's put down the 2 rectangles, and you're not going to need that much glue. Your paper should really be able to stick pretty easily without much glue, but really let you decide that. So we've put those down there, and so orange for me is going to be my stone. So then we're going to go with the middle layer, which I have, which is going to be these 2 red ones. And that goes there, and that goes there. And then I couldn't find my object at home that made this nice big roof, so we're gonna make 2 tiny roofs, which is totally fine. You know, you don't have to make the same building every time. You can always just change it up when you feel like it, you know? And so there is the roofs that are covering the structure. We don't want water to get in. And then we're gonna put some circles down here for some windows. And there's my structure. I don't have a door, so maybe the door's around back. We don't know. We only see 1/2 of the structure. But at the end, this is what your thing will look like. And remember, we don't need to worry about physics. We don't need to worry about gravity, other than your paper falling over. So this is what it will look like at the end. So once you have finished your craft and you're like, I still want to play with buildings, this is fun, you can make more, or you can play with a coloring sheet. We have made a coloring sheet of Old Town Hall. You've probably walked past it with your parents, maybe on like First Fridays, or you have gone inside maybe with your parents. But you can color on that and have a lot of fun with it and continue learning about the structure. The structure was also made by Albert Speiden. I don't know if I said that previously. And please comment these in the below. I would love to see what wonderful structures you come up with. I can't wait to see what our new architects have done. And I hope you all enjoyed this hands-on history.